just control our thoughts, our actions, and everything we do here so that we benefit the people of this city and bring honor and glory to you. We ask everything we ask in the precious name of Jesus. It's the only name that's worthy. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Going to do a roll call to establish a quorum.
Two's here. Two's here.
Three's here.
At large is here.
4's here.
Five's here.
6 present.
All right, everybody's here. So the first item on the agenda is a public hearing, of which I think that property has been taken care of. All right, so I'd like to get a motion to close this one out. The property has been fixed.
I make a motion to remove it.
Second.
A motion,
Discussion.
second, discussion.
Being that we've had it on the agenda and it is within order, should we go through the motion?
After your time, or we can remove it off the agenda since it has been resolved.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure that, okay. So I retract my discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next one, we've got public comments. I'm sorry, the meeting has already started. Please take a seat. Did we have anybody make it by 5? No, sir. Nobody's on public comments.
You're not used to
Next one is, do we have any amendments to the municipal docket?
a dictator and a coward, and the rest of you.
Would you escort him out, please?
Geoffrey, what a disappointment you are. The public can
All right. Next one is, can I have a motion to approve the mayor and board of aldermen minutes?
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next one is the
every one of you.
approval of the executive session of January 6th. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
I'm sorry, Mayor, who did the second on the planning commission?
I did the motion.
Timmy and Donald. Next one is the planning commission minutes of January 8th. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next one is the docket of claims 012026. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion and a second by Donald and Timmy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next one is discussion of the dumpster enclosure. Luke
Luke.
Wayne, is Luke in? Yes. Please stand up, come up and just your name and address and.
My name is Luke Wayne. Address for the point of this business is 100 Jeff Davis Avenue. I guess, I don't know, never been to an alder meeting before, but,
Well, welcome to your first Alderman.
right? Well, thank you all for letting me speak. Obviously, I'm Luke Wayne. I own the Quarter Deck Bar, and I'm here to respectfully request a waiver for the city's dumpster screening ordinance as it applies to my business. I've been operating here for 11 years, and during that time, the dumpster's current placement has not caused safety issues, service disruptions, or complaints, and I've made every good faith effort to identify any complaint alternatives. The dumpster currently serves 3 separate businesses, and the adjacent properties are not owned or controlled by me, which limits relocation options. I understand the intent of the ordinance and support the city's goal of safety, accessibility, and cleanliness. The challenge is that there's no alternative locations available that wouldn't block customer access, interfere with good neighboring businesses, or impede garbage pickup and emergency access. I'm not asking for an exception out of the convenience, but out of necessity. The current placement is the only workable option that allows daily operations to continue responsibly for all businesses involved. I respectfully ask your consideration of the waiver so I can continue operating in alignment with the city's intent. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If you,
Luke, real
Yes.
quick, before you walk away, you said 11 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. and it's right there at the corner of the property. I'm familiar with the property, I
Correct.
had it beforehand. And there's not access to the property to the west of you, am I correct?
No, there's not. There's a barbed wire fence around their property.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that that information was disclosed,
And
so.
was the request for you to move the dumpster or?
To move or relocate it somewhere, and I've been to the court, and I've talked to the city
Building inspector?
engineer, Mike, and he doesn't seem to have a solution either, and so I'm kind of just looking for any kind of solution. I'm not trying to be out of compliance, and I understand the concept, nobody seems to have any options or,
Yeah.
possibilities for me, and
And just for clarity, we did have complaints. I had numerous complaints when I was running for office about it being on the roadside. And if you really look at it, it's probably 2 or 3 inches in the road. And it does stay kind of nasty looking. It is, and I think there's also a grease pit that is also in our
a
easement.
fryer oil pickup spot, yes.
And you are just right off of our main business district,
I fully understand that.
right next to the park where people come back and forth. So I get what you're saying. You need to find another option. I took some pictures.
Yes,
I
I
had
have
some pictures
pictures.
of your place today.
I've got satellite pictures of my property line demarcation. I own the building, basically, and a few parking spots that, according to the easement code, even my parking spots are kind of creeping out onto the city's properties.
Yeah.
So outside of any safety issues or blocking emergency accesses or any just entrance parts, I mean, Don, you know the property probably better than anybody else up there on the board, and even you can
Why is that, Don?
understand.
So, full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, at one point in time, I was a pretend restaurateur, and for 3 years, I occupied that same location. So, I do know that, and I'm familiar with the area because we actually worked with the previous board and mayor on the location of that dumpster at the time, and it was approved at the time. With that being said, I will make a motion that we do grant the variance for Mr. Wayne.
I'll second your motion.
All right, we got first and second, now we got discussion. And I'm gonna tell y'all, trying to clean up this town, and that is right there in the forefront of our town. I would hope that we don't grant a variance on this. I think there's other solutions that we can come across. There's a lot of room between our easement and your building, okay? It may take away a parking spot, but there is alternative location you can put that dumpster, and it would be right in front of your business instead of right in front of ours.
You mean in front of the entrance to my business?
You got one entrance on one side, you got on the other side of your business.
2 entrances to the building.
All right, there's a
to my
place in
portion of
there.
the building.
Well, I got a picture
Yeah, I have them too.
that can show you where you could put your dumpster.
At
if
an
you wanted
angle
to make
where a
it
giant dump
legally-
truck can come in and pick it up. One of the biggest problems with what you've suggested
Mm-hmm.
is that that street is very narrow.
Yes, it is.
And if
And
I
that's-
were to take up,
Right.
it would take 3 parking spots, and it would clear out the entire entrance to my building, not just to the building, but to my business, because they have to come in at an angle, because it's too narrow of a street. It's a big dump truck for 3 businesses in a dumpster site. We keep it clean, we sweep it around. It's been there for probably 20 years.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd go, you've been keeping it clean, because there's other businesses around you that pick up beer bottles in the morning.
Yeah, and they
So
pick
I
up beer
wouldn't say it was
cans,
kept
and they
clean.
pick up beads, and they pick up candy and flowers and all
Fact.
that stuff from everywhere.
The city
We do
does
our
that.
best to keep our area as clean as
I'm talking
possible.
about beer bottles. I can help you make a solution in front of your building, because I think there is a room that you can do that. If you can't, then you can't.
I don't believe there is.
So here's where I'm coming from, and I know we got a motion. That is not my problem. That is your problem. You put a dumpster where it is not allowed.
I did not put the dumpster there, and it was approved to be placed there
I've never seen
way
that on any
prior to
minutes.
my taking over of the business and the building.
I know Donald said that, I've never seen that on any minutes, we approved a dumpster in a city easement.
Well, I don't
I'll
know.
have to see
we
that
is.
before.
You weren't mayor at the time,
Never
so
think,
I don't
no,
know.
I went back and did some history. I do a
Okay.
little bit of my history. I didn't see anything in there that said anything about a dumpster being approved on that piece of property. And if it was due to a previous owner, it doesn't carry over from one owner to the next. It stops anyway. So if you didn't own that building back then and they gave a variance, it doesn't carry over to you. It stops. That's a variance for the owner that owns that piece of property at that time. Now, I would say that across the street, you've got a guy that is cleared out that piece of property, and there's nothing on that piece of property. Have you talked to him?
You're asking me to impede on somebody else's property.
Impeding on me as a city.
It's my city as much as it is
You're
yours.
right, and that is not your easement.
And
That
I
is a
own
city
the property
easement.
there too.
That is
And
a
there's not
city.
enough. I
Look,
didn't
we're not-
approve
we're
the
not
building
going-
of
Mayor,
it either.
Look, hold up, Don, I'm talking.
No.
We're not going to we're not going to debate this. This is my point of view. The dumpster will go. If they want to
Mr. Mayor,
override
we have a
my-
motion and a second on the board. I call for the vote.
And we're still in
And
discussion.
I'm calling for the vote.
So what I'm saying is.
I appreciate the discussion, and I refer you to the council's judgment.
I call for the vote.
All right, so
Can we have more
we
discussion?
can, there's nothing saying we can't keep discussion.
I just want to voice my concern. You know, I see it's getting pretty heated up here. When I took the oath of this office, I raised my hand and I said I would uphold the ordinances, the laws of this city. We may not like these laws, we might not think they're fair or whatever, but they are the laws. And I've seen in the past, and one of the reasons why I ran for office, I'd seen where if you have a friend that has this business or that business, they get preferential treatment, they get exceptions for, you know, for planning and zoning and so forth. The reason I ran here is to try to make a difference and to say that we need to run this as a real city and be professional with it. You know, I see in my Ward 3, I'm making these businesses put their enclosures around these dumpsters for a reason. It's because the mayor and all of us, we say that we want to make this city attractive. Well, either we're serious about it or we're going to make exceptions. It's only good for certain people, the people that we know. I don't know any of these parties here. I don't frequent that facility that we're talking about here. But my concern is I have asked these business owners in my ward to put enclosures around their dumpsters because it's the law. And that's where I really have a problem here. So either we're going to enforce the law or we're going to change the law. That's the other option that we have. Let's do away with it.
So you feel like every business is a cookie cutter and should fit in one ordinance?
I say all businesses, like residences, should abide by the ordinances or the rules and regulations that are put forth by the.
In that
I'm not
aspect-
trying to argue. I'm not going to argue the case with you.
Well-
I made my point.
Well, so in that aspect, and so if we're going to have this discussion, then nobody should have a variance on a sidewalk. And have anybody on this board, have any one of you guys voted to waive a sidewalk? That's the same argument that you're having. That's the law.
Well, you know what?
That's the law.
When I have-
Did you or did you not vote for to waive a sidewalk? I'm asking anybody on this board, if you have not voted to give a variance in that aspect, then you're exempt from this. But I believe everyone up here has given a variance to a law. So.
I'm just gonna say, I think every business we have to look at independently. I agree with him 100%. For him to put it at an angle, if you ever watch those trucks come in, he would block the entire front of the business. I don't think you can just have, I think you have to give exception when it's needed.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been working very hard since I've been in this office to clean it up.
And
I
you've
think
been
we've
doing
done a daggum good job.
Absolutely.
And I would hate to say the next person's going to come up and say, wait a minute, you let Quarterdeck do it, why can't I do it? Oh, well, Donald may say, okay, we'll go ahead and let you do that too.
On the
And
same
then we're gonna be
aspect,
right where we are where the
on the
city was when
same
I came in.
aspect, have you given a variance for any sidewalk? That's my
I don't
simple,
remember. I don't
that's
have a
my
vote, I
simple
don't think.
question.
I don't
But-
think I have a vote.
Okay,
I've always
well
given
then,
my opinion,
it-
but I do
you're
not have a
entitled
vote.
to your opinion.
Exactly.
But at the
Y'all
end of the
vote.
day, we will vote.
Y'all vote. Any other discussion?
And we will decide, and
Any,
it's the board that will decide.
Is the problem that it can't be enclosed, Luke? Or,
he can't get it out of the street.
not, well, hold on, just hold on.
It's halfway enclosed. It's up against two sides of a fence, and I've added lattice to make sure it's at least less seen from the streets of Jeff Davis. And I've cleaned it, I pushed it back as far, it's about the smallest dumpster I can actually get without having to pick it up every day.
I haven't seen it, Luke, but I mean, is three sides covered? Is two sides covered? Is
Two sides covered.
sides or back and,
The one side and the back. The other side can't be covered because the dump trucks have to come in at an angle
I'm with you.
on the street in order to pick it up. Because
Mr. Wayne, real quick question. The side that's covered, would that be the west side that faces Jeff Davis?
You can see it from any side you go.
Okay, so you're telling us that the side from Jeff Davis is blocked and the back is blocked, is that correct? Correct. Thank you.
And that's not correct. I hate to disagree with you. I go by there every day. The front of that, the only way, all right, look, you're not gonna cover the whole side towards Jeff Davis because you're out in the street. You gonna put lattice out into the street? No, you're not. You cover it back, your lattice protects it from your business, not from the residents of Long Beach.
So I'm going to go back to the point is, there's a motion on the table with a second, and I call for the vote.
Is there any more discussion? Any more discussion? All right, the motion is on the table to approve a variant for a dumpster in our street. How do people vote?
Aye.
aye?
Nay. Nay.
So what is it, three?
I think you're going to need a roll call, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call.
Nay.
And I don't need your help to know when I need a roll
Okay,
call.
you're welcome.
Go ahead.
Nay.
Nay.
Aye.
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 Nay.
I believe that's 4-3 in favor of the variance.
Thank you again, but I
You're
don't
welcome.
count, okay?
You're welcome.
So we'll continue this. I do have, I hate to use it, but I have other powers. We'll see
Okay.
where we can go with this. I'm gonna say, I'm very disappointed in this board, and I'm not gonna hold back. I'm very disappointed. I have put a lot of work into this city. I've
A
cleaned
lot
up a
of
lot.
ayes,
Donald,
ayes,
you're not
ayes,
talking right
ayes,
now?
we.
Okay. Okay, you're not talking right now?
I actually
I
am,
have put personal time in cleaning this city.
but none of us
And I
have.
come, well, I didn't see you down there trimming oak trees and things like that. I don't think I've seen you, but anyway, let's keep moving.
Hey,
I just let it be known, I'm very disappointed on the aldermen that are going the direction they're going in. Motion passes. You have your dumpster. I don't need to hear nothing else. You made your decision.
Well, I'm gonna say it.
Next item.
I think it's important we stand up for businesses and help them in this
All
city.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's
good.
We
That's
have a
good.
bad name.
I stand up for my city. I look at the cities,
right.
the image of the city is very important.
On, next.
Next item. Plan development resignation. That was mine. I want to say that.
is that yours or is that Patrick's, for clarification?
I had one too.
Sean is
I
off.
had Ryan McMahon.
Ryan McMahon, oh, Ryan, I'm sorry, it's Ryan, not Sean. All right, so all in favor of resignation?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next one is appointment to the school board. Can I get a motion? All right, show it, Patrick recusing himself. All right, so can I have a motion for the next appointee to the school board?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Sandy Delaney.
You got a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next one is speed limit on Castine Point. Alderman Pete?
Thank you, Mayor. Get Patrick back in. here.
Uh, Real quick, we need to bring Patrick back in.
right, go ahead.
This topic is one that I had to bring up tonight because I was approached last week. It's not necessarily my idea. In fact, it was never my idea. But I was approached about reducing the speed limit in Castine Point specifically due to safety considerations of children in that heavily established neighborhood. My knee-jerk reaction to that request was, absolutely not, we're not going down that road again. It's like one of my colleagues said this past week, it's like we have a shiny new toy that we just can't seem to stop playing with. But I slept on it, and as I sit here, and after I slept on it, I reminded myself that it's not necessarily what I think is in the best interest, but the citizens that I represent. Castine Point are the citizens that I represent partially. So what I did is a couple of things. The first thing I did is I polled about 7 or 8 individuals who live in Castine Point, who I know, and every one of them that I polled stated that they would prefer the speed limit be reduced to 20 miles an hour. Okay, so then what I did, I took it upon myself to go into Castine Point shortly after school was dismissed and drive the neighborhood. And I drove the neighborhood 25 miles an hour, posted speed limit as it is currently. And I know I drive like an old man, but it seemed a bit excessive to me with the children in the area. So then I did the flip side of that coin, and I went through there at 15 miles an hour. And that seemed like it was watching molasses grow down the side of a tree in the dead of winter. It was just too slow. So all of that being considered, I will place a motion in front of the board that we do consider, as the residents have requested, or a portion of the residents have requested, reducing the speed limit in Castine Point to 20 miles per hour. And that'll be in the form of a motion.
So we got a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Put a second on that.
We got a second. Any discussion?
Discussion. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to call Mr. Alan Weatherford, who is here in our audience, to speak. Mr. Weatherford is 30-plus years as a law enforcement chief, previous chief of Gulfport, and has personal information or experience with speeding. I think that's my introduction, and I'm going to yield my time to let him speak to the board regarding speed limits.
Yeah, I'd just like to take a couple minutes to talk to y'all. I'm not here to criticize this board or any of the city employees here. Y'all do a lot for this city. We have a great city and a safe city, great police department, fire department, and public works. But I've spent over 40 years in public safety, and I'm not here as an expert in traffic safety. I've worked traffic in Gulfport, and I was part of the traffic study on Highway 49 in 2002, where they increased the speed by 5 miles per hour. I was not in favor of that at the time, but as I got to understand the traffic, then I realized that, yes, it wasn't a bad thing to do. You're about to get busy. I've seen, and that's the reason why I'm here partly is I've expressed my concern regarding what I call just spot reducing speed, just to be reducing the speed limits there. You're going to have every neighborhood coming to you wanting to reduce the speed or increase the speed. I'm not saying the speed does not need to be decreased or increased. What I'm asking you to do is somebody on this board here sits on the board of the Gulf Regional Planning Commission. I guess that may be you, Mayor. I'm not sure who sits on there. They have money there to do those traffic studies. I'm asking y'all, before you start reducing the speed limits or increasing the speed limits in this city, is to sit down and do a comprehensive traffic study of your city. That way you know exactly what's what. Because you're not just going to see, okay, the factors of how many cars are traveling. You're looking at the road characteristics. And you take, for example, Railroad Street. That road hadn't been striped yet. off-road pavements about 6 inches below. So there's things there, there's factors there that needs to be done before you start reducing the speed limit there. And of course, we can go on and talk about the 85% of the people traveling on the roadways there, but I think we need to be realistic and fair. I think we need to create a credible system where speed limits define a safe travel speed, not just a random number like I think we've done here. I think we need to get away from that. Artificially low speed limits could be perceived as speed traps. We don't want that for our city. So I'm asking you, before we start changing the speed limit signs there, we're costing taxpayers money by reducing these speed limit signs. You want to talk about safety? Let's talk about safety. Your traffic signs, the stop signs are not even probably, most likely not in compliance because of the reflective coating. Go to Klondike and La Rosa. You got a light that's out there on one side. There is a manual that the traffic engineers go by. And look at that. There's a gun to check the reflective things on these stop signs. So there's things that we can do in this city to make it better and make it greater. So I asked you, before you start going around and reducing speeds or increasing speeds, do a comprehensive traffic study and let's look and truly and see what we need for our city. We need our traffic to move in this city. Thank you.
Mr. Weatherford, Alan, I'm going to ask you a question because I'm ignorant to this fact. I think what you said has a lot of credence. And I'm not by any means saying that any of what you commented on was wrong. I have a question for you, just for my curiosity. When a traffic study is done, does it take into consideration the demographics and the inhabited areas and the children? I'm just curious, does it take into that?
Yes, it does.
It does, okay.
There. I'm not an engineer, but if y'all reach out to Gulf Regional and sit down with them and talk to them, I think there is money available. I don't think for a comprehensive, probably for the whole city, but some areas, yes, there. And let me tell you, I just want you to understand, I lost a loved one to speed and impaired driving. So I'm not saying I'm against reducing it or increasing it. I'm just asking y'all to do a comprehensive traffic study before you go any further doing this. You have an excellent police department, consult them with the traffic data. They know where their crashes are happening and what's going on. It may simply be that that neighborhood needs increased traffic enforcement.
And I'll add that caveat that the people that I polled, their comment was exactly that. It doesn't matter what we post the speed limit if it's not enforced. So.
Thank you, Alan.
Yes, thank you.
So on the other note, one other point of notation here. I received a text saying the Metro Planning Organization at Gulf Regional does these traffic studies for free. And my point would be that we look at somebody that does this for a living before we start making all these changes.
Mayor, I'd like to make an amended motion. Rather than the motion that I presented initially, I would like to make an amended motion that we bring Castine Point to the attention of the commission that you hold a seat on, and we request a traffic study before we go in there and, as Mr. Weatherford said, just arbitrarily change anything. I think that makes better sense.
I'll second that motion.
We got a motion, a second. Any discussion? Mr. Weatherford, I do appreciate your input, and when you see things, like you mentioned a couple of things that need to be done, please call me. And we will take care of those, because those are very important as well. And, you do a whole city, sometimes you miss the little things. And please, and that goes from anybody, any citizens. If you see something that needs to be repaired, whether it be stop signs or speed limit signs that you can't read, please let us know. And we will get them taken care of, because that's truly important. So I appreciate your input tonight.
Mr. Wilford, I'd like to dovetail off that and say I appreciate everything you said. I agree with a lot of things you said. I regret to say that you and I both have lost a loved one, to speed and so forth. My grandmother was killed on Pineville Road. So it hit home. And if I'm a little overcautious about things, maybe so, but I saw something that, with Railroad Street, I felt something needed to be done. We could study it, and it'd be great to have engineering and all kinds of studies and to help us make decisions, but until we get sidewalks there and get our loved ones out of the street and have a safe place for them to walk, we have to do what we have to do. It's not perfect, but I truly believe in my heart of hearts that we've made the right decision. The board did. It wasn't unanimous. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the other board members that had dissenting opinions about it. But thank you for all your comments. I think they're well taken with this, Alderman. Thank you.
And one of your points about the traffic, what was a big factor in moving it down to 30 is because that's what Gulfport is. Railroad that comes out, and I don't know why they made it 30, but that would be great, because I've been trying to figure out why is theirs 30?
Gulfport, you're looking at a traffic light there at Broad and Railroad, so you're going from 33rd or 34th, 36th, 37th Avenue to Broad Avenue. You got a short distance there. Same with Broad Avenue to the city limits. You got the same, there's short distance. So yes, it's 30 miles an hour, and I think that's appropriate. I think you got to look on Railroad Street. What you're looking at is a much further run. You may need to reduce it to 30 right by wards in that area, but I'm going to tell you my opinion there. I don't think it was necessary to go from 40 to 30. Now 35, maybe based off of a study. They're looking at all the factors that are involved. It may very well be that it's appropriate because it lacks sidewalks or whatever there, but I think the traffic study would help y'all there, so y'all not getting all these phone calls there.
Well, we're going to do what we can do and I appreciate you letting us know where the resources are, and we'll do that. All right, so we got a motion on there to do a traffic study. We got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, where we at?
Number 5.
Number 5 is the Youth League compliance.
Here I go again. Yeah. Mayor, last Thursday night, Alderman Bonds and I attended a meeting with Chief Seal, the league president of basketball, the league president of girls softball, and the league president of boys baseball. The league president of football was not available that night. The main item of concern, and I'm talking a matter of serious concern, was the fact that Chief Seal stated that although this city has required all coaches and field personnel to pass a background check and to display a badge, an identifier at all times, Chief Seal explained that he had badges in his office that had not been picked up for 3 years and had been expired. Now, there is absolutely no way that the police, the mayor, the Board of Aldermen, the recreation director can attend every single meeting, practice and games, and make sure that this compliance is adhered to. This board, I'm sure, remembers that, and this is a dark area, but it's one that has to be addressed. This board is aware that we have a former girls softball league president who is currently spending 30 years day for day in prison. And it's because of the dark area that we're addressing right here. So in my mind, the solution to this in this town, if you look at social media, people are wanting to step up and get involved and protect things that need protecting. And I've placed some verbiage in front of each one of you. I don't know that I need to read the entire thing. It's just a paragraph. I will read it. It says, parents, for the safety of your children, city policy requires that coaches and field or gym personnel display an identifier at all times while involved with all league activities, to include practices and games. We highly encourage any and all instances of non-compliance be reported to a league administrator or to the recreation director immediately. Failure to comply with this requirement is unacceptable and will result in the immediate removal from the ongoing activity without exception, and it's signed Mayor and Board of Aldermen. My proposal, I would like this board to approve funding to have some type of weather-resistant signage that will last numerous years, and place this notice on every entrance gate, on every baseball field, softball field in this town, as well as the football field and gymnasium, so that parents can be aware that it's their job to police the safety of their children. It's not just ours. And that I will put in form of a motion.
I'll second that.
With discussion?
First and the second, discussion.
Discussion. I mean, something else, you know, parents honestly are part of the problem sometime. You know, you can only have a certain amount of people in the dugout, on the bench, et cetera, et cetera. And then when they run short, hey, come on in here, we need some help watching these kids. Well, they're not approved. So there's got to be, we can put all the signs up we want, and I'm not against that. But there's got to be a way, whoever the head coach is, the assistant coach is, whoever's involved in that team somehow can get through to their team and their parents. I don't care who you're related to, you're not coming in this dugout. You can't do that.
You're preaching to the choir. I concur. Yeah, if you guys remember, I was a commissioner of that league for 7 years. I know all about the shortages of coaches and stuff, but just because you're a parent does not give you the, we're talking every dugout personnel, anybody who sets foot on that field should have an identifier. Billy and I talked about, what about giving them a lime green shirt, all league officials, so that, and he had a good point. He said, well, all you got to do is give the shirt to this daddy and let him put it on. But a badge, like we've been doing, has the picture of the individual, and if they don't have one, they don't need to be on the field. We cannot afford that liability. As a city, we simply can't afford it. In addition to that, I would require the baseball league, the softball league, the basketball league, and the football league put this notice on their website so that parents are doubly notified that it's their job to police this along with everybody else involved. We don't need another scene like we had 3 or 4 years ago that wound up in the courts.
All right. Any more discussion? So if I heard you correct, in this motion, it was to mandatory badges and signages for
Signage at
each of the field.
every entrance and on every concession stand and the gymnasium at the senior center.
Okay.
Funding approved for these.
Yeah, so we'll get an estimate of the number of signs and get back to the board for approval. It's going to take approval there for the amount for the signs. But immediately, the badges are to be worn right off the bat. So that being the motion, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next one is Plan Development Commission appointee, Alderman Bonds.
In light of my Planning and Development Commission resignation, I would like to appoint in Ward 5 Joey King, and I make a motion right now to approve Joey King as my new appointee.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Thank you, Joey.
All in favor?
Appreciate it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. The next one is appointment to the Planning and Development Commission. I would like someone to make a motion to appoint Tim Delaney to the vacant spot under my position.
So moved.
Joey,
Second.
second. Any discussion?
Discussion, just a quick question. Is there a conflict with it being with the other board, the
Civil Service
Civil
Commission.
Service?
No.
There is none?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next one is update request, Alderman McCaffrey on the library board.
Yes, if y'all remember, we had a long discussion about what direction the library needed to go, being an executive board or
whatnot, and the attorney was gonna look into it and get back with us on
Could we,
what he found.
and he did, I think this was gonna tie heavily into the next item on there, which is gonna solve your issues. So, we've got a remedy, and I'll let, Patrick on the next motion kind of talk about that.
Then we can go back if we need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no action taken on that one. The next one is, and does, unless, Steve, I mean, Steve
just-
looked into it.
Can
and
we
it
kind of
can be-
tie, would it be possible to,
Tie them together.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can change those bylaws. It's not a state law, so we did look into that.
And they need to know which direction to go. Right now, they don't know how to operate.
Yeah, and this is gonna be this is gonna
Okay.
be part of this next phase.
We'll just group them together.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to like step.
Oh, no, go
We're trying
ahead.
the same thing, so. Do we need a motion to open the other one, or we can just go?
Yeah, the next one is discussion of the Harrison County Library. Alderman Bennett.
So I know we've kind of talked about it before in the past, about looking at, letting the county, becoming part of the county library. I believe as it is right now, that we are the only city left on the coast.
It's two in the state.
Two in the state that have not. I think it'll be pretty substantial cost savings. I think right now, per resident, we pay more than anybody for the library. I know, Pastor Sham pays over $100,000 less a year than us for the library, so I think it is time for us to really look at what we need to do. I know in the past there were hurdles that was software and all that, but I don't believe that to be the case anymore. I think it's a pretty smooth transition. I know last year, we had a lady come from the library and kind of talk to us about it. So I do think we could see some pretty substantial savings by becoming part of the county library system. And actually, I think it will add to what our library is able to offer. There will be a lot of extra things that they can do that we currently aren't doing. So I think that I would make the motion that we go ahead and start the process of switching over.
I'll second his motion and would like to start the discussion. Patrick, I concur with you, but there are several members on the board that were not here when that lady was here.
Right.
I would really I think it would really behoove us, I can't even remember her name, and I certainly
I
can't
think her
remember.
name, she's right here.
There's here.
There she is. I was going to make a motion, or not make a motion, but I was going to ask, could we have her refresh our memory and let her make us aware of what they have to offer?
Sure. We're glad you came. I wasn't expecting you tonight, but I'm
Either.
glad you came.
I thought I was on the agenda, so I do have some handouts that might be helpful in sort of understanding, because it is a bit, I don't know, not complicated, but there are lots of considerations about the cost and how to mitigate that.
Can I pause for just, can you state your name again?
Sure. I'm Sarah Ruskey. I'm the director of the Harrison County Library System, headquartered at 12135 Old Highway 49 in Gulfport. And so there, those two. So I'm handing you a sheet that has a comparison. So d'Iberville and Pass Christian are similarly sized branches, and so I did a sort of estimated, well, their budget is actual, and the one that Long Beach would have is estimated, because I don't have all of the information. I had a fair amount that I was able to gather either online or from talking to staff, former staff. And I also passed out a thing of considerations, is the summary of considerations, and then also state law that governs library funding. And there is a provision in state law that that allows for a Long Beach trustee to be appointed by the supervisors, that was put into place, I don't know, some time ago, just in case y'all wanted to. So you would have representation on the library board. We are a government entity, a political subdivision, so we are not part of the county. We're our own thing, and we have a board that has the fiscal responsibility and that hires me, and then all the employees are employees of the library system. So they're not employees of the county or any of the cities. They're library system employees. We do participate in PERS and in the state insurance, just like your current library staff does. So I just was going to go over quickly some of the considerations. So As I mentioned, the other two branches are similar in size, and they cost a good bit less than what you currently are paying for your library, as I understand. The issue is 80% of your budget is staff, is personnel. And the other part is, you know, the books and the operations and things like that. So if you were to merge with our system, we don't have a surplus. We have the lowest per capita in the area compared to Jackson, George, or Hancock. So we don't have like a surplus of funds to fill in that gap between what this library costs and what those other libraries cost. I don't know that it would be wise to go in and you only have, I think, 5 staff members. Now you don't have a director, but there would need to be a manager of the library, so I think 5 would be a minimal number, especially since the way the building is. You have one section that's separate, so you don't want to have, you know, depending on what day it is, you need to have a sufficient staff for safety issues. There are also some unknowns. I don't know what, we don't own buildings. We're not allowed to own buildings, but we do pay contents insurance. I don't know how much that would be for this library, so those are not in the budget mock-up that I gave you. The logistics of switching, I know I've been asked several times in the past, well, wouldn't it cost like $60,000 to convert? And that was back in the 90s when you had, you know, it's much harder to convert databases. That would be less than $5,000. The computers, I don't know, but they're probably compatible. I don't know what the cabling infrastructure is, if it's Cat 5, Cat 6, but some federal funding could fix that if that was a problem. Same thing for Wi-Fi hotspots, there's federal funding for that. So the main issue is money, like it always is. As you can see from the documents that I gave you, the state code and what our original contract with the different entities that make up the system currently, it seems like the intent was for the libraries to be funded by millage because it is allowed for already in the state code. The county can assign up to 4 mills and the cities up to 3. In this region, we would not need that size of millage because a mill in Harrison County is over $1 million and we get around $1 million, a little bit over now. And same thing for the cities. A mill in, I think, Biloxi is 780. I don't know what it is in Long Beach. So that's way more than would be needed. But to me, the thing that would have to happen for the merger to work is we would need to have, the county is our biggest funder. And for it to be equitable, I don't know if this is a thing that could happen, but if the county were to help make it a true county system, because the other cities pay between 65% and 70% for their libraries, and it wouldn't make sense for you to come on and be paying nearly 100%. And the only way for us to keep the services like you have them would be to have close to the same amount of income to fund the same operations, because there would be some savings in administrative costs, but they are not so substantial as to reduce your funding by an enormous amount. And please ask questions if I know that's kind of a lot and in many directions.
So I think as far as the equipment, and of course I wasn't here last time y'all did it, but we have just upgraded a lot of our computers.
Same for us. Windows 11, we had 7, 8-year-old computers. Yeah.
I think we've got some coming in that are supposed to be purchased on computers. And I had talked to Mayor Torgerson over in Ask Christian. I think he gave me a number of 190,000.
Yes, they currently, so, I don't think I gave y'all the revenue, but they furnish 191,000. We asked for 196, but you know they're having some money struggles, so we were flat from last year.
So
the Iowa bill is about 180. Sorry?
I'm sorry. Is that 191,000 plus salaries?
No, that is their total contribution. It costs, as you can see on the budget document,
Right.
costs about $290 to run the library. D'Iberville furnishes about 182,000 is what they give us, and it's a little bit cheaper to run that one because they have a smaller staff.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, to run past Christiane's library costs roughly $288,000 some odd dollars.
That's correct.
So, past Christiane puts in 190.
That's correct.
And the county picks up the other part.
It's a little bit more complicated than that because we have about 200,000 that comes in from the state. We have some, internal income, we call it, from the prints and copies that we recoup the cost of the paper that we use for printing. We still charge fines, so we do have about 55,000 total for printing, copying, fines, and lost things. And so, yeah, so we have a little bit. We have donations. PASS is pretty. They get a lot of donations over there. They have a very supportive community, but the county is the biggest funder in general. Yes.
So currently, I just pulled out our cash balances that we got. Our budgeted, as of right now, total expenses for the library is $341,597. So that's substantially higher
Yep.
than
And that was the approved budget?
that. So actually, the original approved budget was $337,000, but I believe we received a grant,
Okay.
which kicked it up to $341,000.
So
Which,
so the budgets are very tight in the city of Long Beach, and that's one of the areas that we're trying to become more efficient in. So if we were to budget, and this is just ballpark, if we were to budget it 340 this year, and then we turn it over to the county,
We're not the county.
right, but if we
Harrison
were,
County Library
System.
system, is there any idea about what our budget may be next year as it pertains to the library that comes out for the city's portion?
so
Sure.
maybe to clear it, for example, the Pass and D'Iberville, are they true county systems, or are they still?
They are part of our county system, yes.
Okay.
So the way our funding works, since we're not on millage, like I mentioned, that seemed to have been the plan, and Gulfport had it pre-Katrina, and then, of course, everything went out the window after that. But since we're not on millage, the way our funding works is we go to our funders each year and we say, this is how much we need to operate the library, and sometimes they don't give it to us.
Right.
There is no guarantee on our side, because it's not millage-based. We could ask the county for $1.25 million to fill in that gap, and they may say no. That is why, for this to work, it is my opinion that there would have to be a joint discussion to see if they're willing to do that. We had talked some years ago about establishing millage, and one of their objections was, well, Long Beach is not, that wouldn't make sense if they're separate, even though we let anyone in Long Beach or anyone anywhere in the county can get our card from our library system, and I believe it's the same for Long Beach. I may be wrong, but that was an objection. So I wonder if we were one true system, if they would be more likely to do it. We haven't gotten traction so far on it, but for us, it would be much better because the county is prospering, and so that piece would grow each year, because in some of our locations, we've been very flat. Like for about 10 years, we had almost no increases, and we cut the book budget back to the bone because you've got to give raises to people, costs go up, that sort of thing. So I don't know if they would be at all willing, but I don't see a way for it to be logical for you and possible for us unless we had that kind of an arrangement with them.
And I hear, I think we got a great library, but I hear real good things about Pass Christiane, that they offer a lot of programs.
They're very active. They're very well supported by the community.
So that would be the same logic that you would bring with whoever comes to run
We would have, I put that on my sort of considerations, is we have a youth services coordinator, and so that's a bunch of your programs. You want them to be kids and family programs, because you want to get the kids in and get them reading. And so the people doing those programs would have more support in doing that, and we can't always send people elsewhere, but we do that sometimes. If like Orange Grove is doing a big kids Mardi Gras, because it's dinosaurs ball, and so people from other locations will come help do that program, and so that's one way we do share resources, is help each other out. And in the past, and I know that you do have a friends group here, and hopefully they would be part of that too, because that's how PASS is.
Mayor, I
able
have
to
a
do.
couple of questions.
Yeah.
The existing 5 individuals who are employed there now, they would remain there if we went to the county system?
I would not want to come in and, like, there are some privatizing groups that come in and they fire everyone and they hire them back part-time, and I don't think that's a good thing for morale. And I wouldn't want to change things with what they're doing and where they are. I think that would not be my approach.
And the second question I have is, what happens to the existing board of directors, library board that's in place?
They could, in the contract that is pretty old and needs to be redone anyway, there were, in other cities, there were advisory boards. Those have ceased to exist, but there is a provision in the contract for advisory boards. They don't have a governing authority, because the way the law is written for city, county libraries is that there is one board of trustees with a representative from each city and one at large. And so the Long Beach would have a person that would have that spot, and that board governs the system.
So Mayor, if we want to go forward with this, would that require you to go to the Harrison County Board of Supervisors to
Well, I talked to Marlon Ladner this morning about it, about, just what is the process if we want to go that way. And so he's looking into that, and he's supposed to get back with me. So if we could, if the board is interested, if y'all would authorize us to work together to really fine tune the numbers and, the pros and cons and this and that, and then come back with a recommendation to the board, would that make sense?
I would be at your disposal to meet, and my board people they're volunteers, but I'm sure that we could find a amenable time if especially our board chair has been interested in this for some time.
Could I add to my motion, start the process with the county, and give them access to any information that they will need going forward to put together numbers or anything like that. So
Yes, I have ballpark numbers because we report those statistics annually, so I can look up Long Beach. But we would probably need to work with our insurance agent to ask about some of the gaps that I have, because I'm sure you're doing contents and the structure. So we would do the contents, and you would still do the structure for that. But we can get that from our.
So let me just add to that, because as you were talking, I pulled up those numbers. Currently, our contents coverage is 1.326 million. So $1,326,000. Our building coverage is $1.2 million. In my calculation, that's somewhere in the range of about $8,000 a year, just ballpark figure of savings.
for contents or for both?
I'm going to say contents.
how much, Donald?
About 8,000.
Okay, and Steve, you have something you'd like to say?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and board members, at a meeting with the previous, or current, with the director of our city board of directors, sometimes also called the Board of Trustees, Ms. Johnson, she provided a packet of information to the board and myself, which included a letter from another board member or director, Ms. Dasher. At the board's instruction, I spent a significant amount of time reviewing the information, the letters, the concerns set forth, and they were numerous. of our current city's Board of Directors of the library system regarding the library director, the Board of Trustees, its responsibilities, the city's ability to support its needs from both a legal standpoint and a resource standpoint, and looked into each of those concerns and issues that were raised, and there were many. I reviewed the city's ordinances, which created and established the city's library system. And in addition to that, that ordinance authorized the Board of Trustees and directed and authorized the Board of Trustees to establish certain rules and regulations and bylaws. I also reviewed those bylaws closely in respect to what our city ordinances directed, as well as the Mississippi state laws regarding libraries and commissions. They are consistent with one another. They're not inconsistent. They're not broken in that respect. But they are somewhat generic, is how, when I left reading and researching everything, that the concerns of Ms. Johnson and Ms. Dasher, I understand more fully, simply because I don't think our bylaws, our rules and regulations over the years, although they were revised back in January of 2024, it does not give them enough direction and specifics from a lot of different points of view to manage the business, finances, equipment, so forth and so on, very things you've been talking about tonight. So I wanted, at your direction, I looked into those matters very closely, and I did want to report back to you regarding their letters and their concerns. They are well-founded, but again, I think what you have heard tonight, for us to provide the types of resources and legal protection and guidance and things that they talk about, that $300 and some odd thousand budget would balloon even more. This may not satisfy this direction of joining the county library system, all of the board of directors of the city, but it will indeed, in my opinion, fill the holes and the concerns and the shortcomings that they have complained to the board about. I want to add that. So you asked me to look into those things. I spent a lot of time doing just that.
And just all of this is my fear that as these costs continue to go up, when it comes time to really look at our budget in the following years, you know, we don't want to cut, you're not going to cut police, you're not going to cut fire. So, you know, I'm trying to take the steps now to hopefully make sure that library is there for a long time, because I know cities across the country are facing shortcomings, and when you get to looking around, you know, that's going to be one of the first things that we're going to have to look at. So, you know, anything we can do to try to keep it going.
And, okay, and I think if I'm not mistaken, we continue to do the maintenance on the building.
Yes, there have been a couple of different attorney general opinions on that, and I really would have to go back and search what the most recent is, because for the longest time, it was always the library cannot do such things, and then it was, well, the city can give money and then you can do it, and so but generally that has been, we don't own it, so we can't
Yeah, and I saw
do certain
something.
things.
So what does Biloxi have?
I'm sorry?
What Biloxi, are they part of the county?
Yes, they have 4 branches.
Because I think I saw where their aldermen or board of council might have like infused money back, you know, they did separate money, like $200,000 a year to add something extra.
They had money for, we had to have a carpet replaced, and D'Iberville is also replacing a very old carpet. So they had that in their, I guess, their public works budget or maybe capital. I'm not sure exactly where they put it, but it was not in our funding budget.
Gotcha.
So when you have computers that go out of date, y'all replace them or?
Yes.
Okay.
And we haven't done that since I've been here almost 8 years, and that was one of the first things I was told is all of these machines are Windows 7, and we have 300 of them. Great. So we asked for money from the county. We also did some fundraising with patrons, you know, and it took us several years to do it, but yeah, so we we do that. We've used Chrome boxes because a lot of patrons are just browsing. They don't need a Windows machine. So we've been able to, the price of computers has come down luckily. So, yeah, and that would be, we'd have to, we outsource some of our IT stuff, so that would be part of those machines would have to be covered with the, the antivirus and it's called Reboot Restore, so it wipes everything after every person uses it. So those are little things that would have to be added to the list, but.
All right. Did you want to?
Not for you. I have no more questions for you. I think I'm good with looking into it and
Yeah,
going further.
and so I think the motion is still to approve, I don't think we voted on the motion to approve me to go forward with getting more detail.
Correct.
And then I think, so you wanted, before we vote on that, you wanted some,
No, we can vote on that. Then
Okay.
I think the library board might have some questions for the
yeah.
previous.
All right, that's fine. So, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We'll be talking.
Thank you.
Now going.
Thanks for coming down.
Now going back, do y'all have any questions?
All right, good. Good. Yeah. So I'll be tapping on y'all too to help us with this, so. All right. Any other, that's all on that. Next one is Long Beach Police Department donations. Mr. Weatherford?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor and Board of Aldermen, Constable Weatherford was kind enough to donate us a new crime-fighting tool and education tool, and I want to take this time to introduce that tool to us.
Crime dog.
Come on in.
Is that McGruff?
All right. Is he going to be part of our new family, this one here?
He's part of the new family, very cheap salary for us. So I just wanted everybody to see what Constable donated to us in a motion to accept it. It's over $2,500 for that. It's a state-of-the-art
And so we currently don't
costumes,
have,
so we doesn't have.
we don't have a mascot currently.
Right.
I
So
think the elementary kids
very
and
good
all
for
would
the
just love
elementary
it.
kids and education. So I want to publicly thank him,
Yes.
and I'll put it on record if somebody make that motion. If you want to say anything?
We appreciate you, though.
I'll make that
Thank you,
motion
Mr. Allen.
I'll second.
Second.
All right, we got a motion. and a
with
second.
gratitude.
Any discussion?
Dog study. I just want to know, was there a dog study done?
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Welcome aboard.
Thank
Are you a drug sniffing dog too? All right, good deal.
You think so?
Tim, you want us to wait on you? All right. Next item is from the mayor's office, a presentation. I'd like to take that one off. It's probably going to be another, maybe the next meeting when we'll be prepared for that. So let's move on to personnel, police department.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion that we take the one new hire, the 6 step increases, and the 2 resignations as one.
All right, so we got a motion, a second. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
He has
I
discussion.
just want to publicly say that one new hire is our new animal control officer.
Oh, good.
Kelly Mears is her name. She comes from out of state. She was actually a certified police officer out of state, and they've moved here, and this is what she wants to do. We went through 2 sets of interviews. That's what's taken so long, and finally found someone we thought could do the job. So
Can't wait to meet her.
Good job.
she'll start tomorrow.
Is that it?
That's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Next one is the fire department, 1 rehire, 1 emergency hire, and 1 resignation.
Motion.
We got a motion. Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next one is the Parks and Recreation. There's 6 step increases. Ryan has the flu, so he's not here tonight. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next one is City Clerk.
Nothing.
Okay. Fire Department.
I have nothing to add tonight, thank you.
For the fire department, police department?
Yes, sir. We got a budget amendment, and that is, we had sent school resource officer to the summer school resource officer training, and with the school district qualifying for the grant, that money was reimbursed to us for that training. So just putting the reimbursement back in.
All right, can I get a motion to amend the budget for reimbursement?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries. The next one is engineering, the master service agreement amendment.
Yeah, this amendment is offered really to provide flexibility as the city continues to work towards reimbursement of the MCWI grants. This will, if the city wants to do more projects, then this will kind of provide overstreet the procurement through the city, the procurement that will make those projects eligible for reimbursement of engineering cost.
Okay, and those are for going forward projects?
Right, which right now there's none, but you may choose to do some. Yes, sir.
And that's specifically some of the money that we,
I'm sorry?
specifically towards some of the money that we have the ability to spend.
That's correct.
Can I have a motion?
Second with discussion.
Second with discussion?
Does that help under the McWee reimbursement corrective action under C? Does this help?
It's a separate item, but
But this avoids the issue that we have in the future.
yeah, and really those corrective actions are things for projects that because they've kind of redirected our efforts away from the SRF loan that we did through the utility authority. We're finding other projects that we could request reimbursement for. And so those projects were already done. And so the corrective actions later are kind of correcting things that were never intended to be MCWI projects.
Sure.
Right.
Looking into the crystal ball there. Yes,
Right.
I understand that. So, thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next one is the cyber grant.
Yeah, we've prepared, worked with Courtney. She got this grant, I believe, for roughly $90,000 to do a cybersecurity update to your IT infrastructure. We took the documents that she had and have prepared an advertisement and proposed contract documents. All of those are attached to this package. One of the main things that I think we just want to make sure that there's some stuff that doesn't normally fit in our purview that we're doing here, or it's kind of abnormal. We used to doing construction projects. We require performance and payment bonds for those kinds of projects. We're not requiring bonds here. Want to make sure that that's because we're understanding, based on the city's current contractor for IT infrastructure, and even I think the mayor has some experience in this world, that you don't require performance and payments bonds for technology upgrades. So we don't have that in here. We do have a healthy $5,000 a day liquidated damages clause that if they don't finish on time, we're really on a tight timeline here. And if they don't finish on time by mid-July, or really ultimately to complete by mid-August, which should then give the city time to wrap up its back end of the closeout process. If the contractor doesn't finish on time, $5,000 a day. So that's big. I mean, that's, you know.
They're
But that's
very
not-
highly incentivized to get it completed.
That's not a waiver of liability to any damage to any fiber that's already there, correct?
I'm sorry?
That's not a waiver of liability of any fiber that would be there already. Meaning, you're saying we're doing this is doing improvements and we're not needing bonds for it, but it's not a waiver of insurance, for lack of better words.
I've still got the normal insurance requirements that we require from contractors.
That's.
Yes, sir.
That's.
Now, there's some dates on here that are pretty timely.
Yeah, we'll be running our first ad this Friday.
Yep.
And so because it costs more than $75,000, we got to go through the full advertisement process. So we'll work with
the
city clerk
timeline
on that.
On his recommended dates on that. So, any other discussion? All in favor?
So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before we go, so we're going out for bids. Do we want to go ahead and do the bid committee before?
I mean, tonight?
Yes.
We've done, that's what, that generally in the past, that's what's been done.
All right,
So,
so I'll take
I
recommendation.
would offer that you could allow price to be the sole, which is how we often do construction contracts. You could allow price to be the sole, determiner. That's how I was going into this, thinking I would prepare a bid tabulation and come to y'all with, hey, here's your lowest bid.
This looks
That's up to y'all.
pretty specific, so I would agree that, I mean, it's pretty laid out with the requirements.
Yeah.
So I don't, I have no problem with going.
All right, so
with
we're going to go forward, then you'll.
lowest and best.
Tabulate and
Yes, sir.
and do that, and you'll present to the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, I didn't get a first or a second on that one. First.
Patrick is the first,
Patrick.
I'm a second.
Thank you.
All right, motion carries. Next one is MICWE recommendations, and this is going back to correct the projects that got started before this program got kicked off.
That's correct. When we're seeking alternative ways to maximize our MICWE reimbursements, this is one of the steps that we'll have to do to make those projects eligible for reimbursement.
All right, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Park Row improvements, drainage improvements. This is the one that we cut the contract. We realized that we needed to cancel that contract. We canceled it at our last meeting. We've done a little more research. There is money available that would cover this project. And by re-bidding it out, of which, by doing the contract.
Right.
With the original one who won the bid, it will allow us to then get totally reimbursed from MICWE and ARPA funds, where under the previous one, we were out of bounds of a 10% variant from the bid price, so we wouldn't have been able to go after the MICWE funds. So this is great. I appreciate you doing the work that you did on it. This is also very timely. So that's the motion. I think someone did we have a motion to approve the Park Row? We got a motion?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries. The next one is the closeout for the Magnolia Dearman drainage improvements. I think it looks pretty good. You're satisfied?
Yes, sir.
With everything? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. The next one is the Long Beach Harbor West Jetty hardening. If y'all remember, we were awarded $2.5 million Go Mesa funds to harden our western wall. That was approved. Now we're going, and I think this is more or less saying our engineering is going to do the design of the western jetty. So can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second with discussion.
Second with discussion.
Just clarification, this is not moving the wall, this is a cap over the current wall, David?
That's correct. It's
How I was
basically,
reading it, but I just want to make sure.
it's
in-
the construction of a wall system on the existing jetty. So it doesn't move it east or west. It stays exactly where the jetty is and provides protection up to, similar to the eastern side.
Wall here, wall here. Oh, yeah, no, that's.
That's
yeah.
why that's where I would just want a
That's our long
clarification.
range. Yeah, this is not that.
Long range is great, but
This is not that.
we can't pay for that today.
This is not that.
So that's why I wanted clarification,
Yeah,
sir.
so, yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next item is project closeout, Third Street sidewalk extension. I think we got them a punch list. They completed a punch list to your
All
satisfaction.
is satisfactory.
All right, all in favor?
Second,
Oh, I'm
wait,
sorry. We got a
I got-
motion?
I'll second, but I have one discussion.
Go ahead.
You and I discussed at one point in time the feathering in to the street. Did we go back and have them correct that?
Which intersection? I think it was
Is that the one by the
at
college?
Burke.
Where it was breaking up already? I talked to you and then, am I drawing a blank on?
I think we have corrected that. We found some
I'll
ways
take
to.
your word for it.
All right, let's do this. Let's approve it.
No, let's
contingent
approve it.
on that
I'm
being
okay
done.
with approving it. I just want to make sure, because at one point in time, I had, and just so everybody knows, I had gotten a phone call from a concerned citizen as they were feathering it into the street. It was getting so thin that it was already breaking up on that, the ADA ramp. And that's all I want to make sure is that we've double-checked that, because warranty work is not fun to go back and do.
Right.
That's the only reason I asked this question.
Perfect. So we approve this tonight.
I'm
That's
good
still
with
covered
the-
under warranty.
It is for sure.
I'm good with approving it, because I know David will look at it, but
Yeah.
if you don't mind just double checking
We will.
those intersections from here to the college, please.
All right, great. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public Works?
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I
Sir.
can, just to commend Public Works for replacing the lighting in this room. I know I was on you guys a long time with that. When I came in here the other day, I thought it was just like go up there and change some light bulbs, but they actually removed all the seats out here, and they had a scissor fork go up there to do all this, but y'all did a great job on it. I really appreciate it. The city does too.
And one other thing, if y'all notice the two oval shapes up there, different colors, we do have a remote control that we can make it seasonal. It's not always going to be purple and green. So,
It's great not having strobe lights going off when you're up here. It's really appreciate it. Thank you.
all right. Anything, nothing else? All right, Recreation, that is Ryan, of course, he's out sick, so. Building official? Everything's good. Harbor?
Good.
Good. Courtney is out today, but I think everything is going good there. Derelict properties?
We have none.
We have no derelict properties. Report from the attorney?
No, sir.
Report from the attorney. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, before
Yes,
we
sir.
adjourn, I'm not trying to be out of order, but if we go back to the harbor for just a minute, we're 8 days out, so I wanted to make it known to the public, those who are watching on live stream. We will have a dedication at 1:30 on the 28th of January at the Long Beach Harbor House, dedicating longtime city servant Danny College, as similar to like we did at the fire stations for Chief Clegg and such. So public's welcome to join us at 1:30 on the 28th down at the harbor.
Deal.
Thank you.
Now, I forgot one thing. As y'all may be aware, Mr. Ford passed away.
Yes.
Who is the main contractor that's doing the harbor work. So I met with Anacor and to make sure that we were going to be taken care of and with no interruptions. So he is going to dismantle the company. However, 2 of his remaining contracts are with us. And so they have pledged to fulfill their obligations to the city. And I think it's Gnarly is going to come in and help with that closing. And I think Jeff, what's his name?
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey.
Niesel.
Bobby's son is going to be taking on that role. So I feel comfortable with going forward, and there won't be, hopefully won't be a slip in that time. All right, so all in favor?
All right.
All opposed? Motion carries.